I think I got scammed over $200 by a doctor who was supposed to be an ADHD expert. It was one of the most expensive lessons in my journey to get diagnosed and treated with ADHD. Welcome to MG Mind Lab. I'm Mauricio, and getting diagnosed with ADHD here in New Zealand was an eye-opener and a life change for me. In this video, I'll be sharing my haha moment, finally I found something, the assessment and the diagnostic process that I've been through, and how I get out of my, let's say, the dark hole that was in that time in my life. So stay in the video. Thank you for watching, and let's get started. So 4 years ago, I was in a very bad situation. I was alone. I was a single parent looking after of my child, and I was very confused. I was questioning myself, like, why I'm so clumsy? Why I'm always losing my stuff? Why I'm so forgetful? Why I so get confused? Or why I have abusive people around me? I had abusive relationship before. Why my family, people that are meant to protect you, to help you since you're young, why all of them say I'm bad people, I'm a bad person? Why they say negative things to me? While the outward, people outside, like say at school, friends, or at work, they say the other way. They say I'm very good, I'm very nice. And sometimes they even say I inspired them. So yeah, I was in this process, like, why? And something very bad happened to me that I started researching and try to find an answer, like, well, why? Why I'm so broken? So I found a video of a Brazilian doctor showing the ASRS 18 assessment that was created to assess if a person has ADHD or not. And this assessment is split into 2 different sessions. So if I'm not wrong, there are 18 questions or so. So half of it is focused on inattention, and the other is focused on hyperactivity and impulsivity, right? So there are basically a few questions that you need to rank. You need to score, right? There are 5 scores you can put. So never happen, or happen often, etc., until the 5th one that always happen. And I score mostly 5, I score 5 in most all of the questions. I think just 2 questions I didn't score 5. So that's when I notice something is wrong. So I'll give you an example of some of the questions, right? I took note here. I'll read for you. So, for example, mistakes because of lack of attention, or difficult projects, or for example, difficult to stay focused on repetitive tasks or work, or abandon of projects or after facing difficulty, or things scattered all over the place and hard to find, or remind appointments and obligations. Yeah, I think he's better. Fidgeting hands or legs. I do this a lot. Also, you can't stay seated for a long time and has to move. I used to do this a lot. One main thing that I notice is every time I go to the office, I notice everybody stays sit and still for 8 hours basically. They arrive, they say hi, they sit, and they keep their seat. They're working. They don't even move their heads. While I notice I always moving, I keep spinning my chair sometimes. I fold one leg and then I change the other leg. I keep moving, changing position, non-stop, like the whole day. I'll go get water, get coffee, I go to the toilet, and everyone else is just still. They don't move. It looks like they're not even breathing. So this one thing that I was researching before getting to this video. And then another issue is like finishing others' sentence when people are talking, then it kind of interrupt them and finish the sentence for them. Or I struggle to wait, like in a queue on the traffic, interrupt others. So all those questions I marked for me is like, it always happen. I always do it. So that's why I noticed something's wrong. I need help. So if you came up with this test, which is the ASRS 18, and then you score, I think, more than half, I don't remember how many questions, but you score a lot of 5, like I did, they recommended to seek help and talk to a doctor, go to your GP. And yeah, and start from there your journey, as I did. So here where the story start getting more interesting. So on October 2020, I was searching for doctors that are specialized in ADHD and could do assessments. I found this super duper top, the best doctor, as they say on internet, about ADHD because he's on doing research. He's very involved into the thing. So, okay, I called them and then I tried to book. This was in October. Eh? So the next book available was for 14th of January, 2021. So 3 months ahead. Fine. But I was desperate. So I keep calling others. And then I found another doctor which had an appointment available for the next week. So just a few days later. Fine. I went to this one first. I didn't want to wait 3 months to start a process that I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Because after I did the assessment, I feel I found something. Like I feel hopeful. It's kind of I feel an answer, you know. And then I was anxious. I need to do something. So I went to this doctor. Of course, as an ADHD who forgets things, I forgot to cancel the booking from the first one I've done. Anyway, I went to the second doctor, the next appointment. It was good. He also did another assessment. I spent 1 hour with him. And then he suggests a medication, then we start with the medication. But these details I'll tell later about the medication and what happened. But the thing is, January 14th came. So on January 14th, I got an email. I mean, let me just go back a little bit. So on January 14th came, and guess what? Did I receive a call about the appointment saying, hey, today's your appointment. Are you coming? No. Did I get a text message? No. Did I get an email saying, a reminder email, you're going to have an appointment with us tomorrow or the next week or the next month? Any kind of reminder? Nada. Zero. Since the day I booked the appointment, I didn't receive anything. They didn't communicate with me at all. Do you know what I received? On the day, I received an email saying that I haven't showed to the appointment, so here's the bill for you to pay. Yeah, $210, which is half of the full appointment of 30 minutes. So they were charging me $420 for 30 minutes, while the other one I've been to already, I pay similar things for 1 hour. Anyway, the problem is not just this, but I feel like something was wrong. The email was sent by, or they mentioned there is this company. I'm just having my notes here. This company called Bay Corp. So they are debt collectors, and I need to pay the bill in 7 days. Otherwise, something might happen. So an ADHD doctor threatened an ADHD patient for an ADHD symptom. Because the most common symptom of an ADHD person is forgetting things, forgetting a date, forgetting booking, forgetting things. And what they do, they don't remind you. Of course, as ADHD, I didn't put in my calendar. I just called them, book, okay, fine, thank you, bye. And I forgot. And then they send me this email a bit with a tone of threatening, like, you need to pay. Wow, I feel that bit. That was crazy. I was a bit hopeless. I was confused, didn't know what to do, so I just paid, right? What else I could do? And fast forward, in the making of this video, I was researching about this doctor, if he's still on, what's happening, right? And I found out that this doctor got his license canceled. Yeah, his license got canceled for misconduct. And it seems the reason was because of sexual issues. So he had some sexual issues with patient or something like that. I don't know give more details because it doesn't matter here. But this doctor got in trouble. Karma never karma, how can I say? How do I say? It's karma. It comes sooner or later, but come. And this guy paid the price. Yeah. Because I feel this is a GP or debt collector, you know? So I feel like I fell into a trap, into a scam. But anyway, so when you look for a doctor, do a good research, understand, try, if possible, try to find people who been to the same doctor to get some reference, right? And that's how I got diagnosed, right? That's how was my journey. This video, I don't want to make it too long. I think it's already getting long. So I think my conclusion is, the lesson I learned is, a lot of people, they don't like to invest in themselves, in health, or even mental health, going to a therapist or even a psychiatric. A lot of people has a lot of prejudice about this or misconception. I don't. So I sought help and really changed my life. I'll tell this in the next videos, okay? And also I'll make a video more dedicated about the medication. I do not talk about this now because the video will keep long. So if I have an advice here to give you, or a suggestion, based on my story, invest in your health. We waste so much money on coffees that we need, or hobbies that maybe it's not time yet for you to have them because you still don't have financial grounds for that, financial backup. And we spend money with so tiny things that sometimes is unhealthy for us. And we forget the basics that to keep us in good shape. I mean, shape like good health, mental health, physical health, and for who believe on spiritual health as well. So don't neglect this. And then you start doing treatment, you go to the therapist, you go to a psychiatrist, you take medications, whatever. When your mind is more balanced, well, I promise you, I'm very sure your ADHD vibes, high vibes, will make everyone around you better. Your life will be better. Everything will be better because ADHD people has always a good vibe, very fast pace, very like, let's go, let's work, come on. Very smiling, very, high vibes. But if you are out of control, if you're just like a wild unleashed animal without medication, you get crazy. You miss things, you forget things, you insult or offend people without noticing. So you break hearts. So, you start creating an environment that's not so good for you. And sometimes you don't even notice. So people start avoiding you, things doesn't work as it should. So that's what I'm saying. Keep your mind under control, balance. You'll never be cured, but it can be better. Okay? And I have a question for you. Have you ever paid a tax because you forgot stuffs? Or have been to a kind of a scam like this? Tell me, how was your experience? I'm curious to know. Put here in the comments below. I will read them and then we discuss. So diagnosis is just the start of the process, but the real game changer or life changer, I'll talk about it in the next video. So stay tuned. I'm Mauricio, this is MG Mind Lab. Enjoy your life because I'm enjoying mine. See you in the next video and thanks for watching. Bye bye.